welcome my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers. Welcome to our timeless true love timeline reading. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. They are my initials. I am a professional witch, a professional intuitive, the president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of 2 books and a third one in process. The first one is called Spell Ingredients from a Professional Witch. The second one is called Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. It's essentially a book of prayer. There is a Kindle version available of Words of Grace and a link in the description box, and if you click it, you can preview a good chunk of the first part of it for free, including the table of contents. You'll see it's mostly divided into chakra chapters. There are chakras in the reading, so you might find it of use. The original version of Words of Grace, though, which is honestly a visual Fellini film fest compared to the Kindle version because we had to tone it down a bit, well, that would be over on patreon.com/drawingthecircle. in our digital shop, as well as the only place where you can find my first book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, at the time of this timeless recording. Some of my subscribers get all of this stuff practically in the digital shop, depending upon their level of subscription. The audiobooks, the audios, the videos, which have free previews now, and the ebooks and all of that. But the majority of my subscribers get 3 benefits in common. They get a daily check-in when I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link pretty much every single morning. Did it this morning. It was great. Where we chat about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a little spiritual practice, something to send us on our way. Best way for me to start the day, considering what I do for a living every single day. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. All of my extended readings are timeless and relationship stuff based, like the Path of True Love readings with extendeds. This is a simpler version, the True Love timelines, as well as my subscribers get a significant discount when it's time to book me for a private session, spiritual counseling, and or readings. We'll talk about that at the end of the video if you want more info on that. And I love it. You can follow us for free. As a free follower, I put out content specifically for the people who are our free followers, although my subscribers get to see that stuff too. And you can 7-day free trial us as a seeker or a human, our first 2 levels. Anyone can shop in the store, subscriber, follower, or otherwise, so click the link and check it out if you feel so drawn. And come Patreon on Patreon with the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But you can just call me Mal. Hey, my leaves. I said our reading because I am Mercury conjunct Venus in Libra, 3rd house. Chat, right? Very, very chatty. So very, very happy to be serving all of us today. We'll do some explanation for the new Libras and cross-watchers, and we'll jump into the divination. Feel free to jump ahead, although we added a card to the series this time around. So welcome, new Libras and cross-watchers. A simple timeline, regardless of subject matter, is simply past, present, and future. In this case, where we have been, where we are now, and where we are headed on the path of true love in a true love timeline. How we heal, how we deal, and how we learn, heal, grow, and evolve in our relationships, our sacred contracts, our soul contracts with other people, twin flame, soulmate, blah, blah, blah. And we are going to be using 8 cards to do this. Remember, past, present, and future. We're going to get 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Ooh, the oppression card at the bottom. I don't do bottom of the deck that much anymore. We'll get 3 of those for the heart, third eye crown, past, present, and future. The internal, the internal feminine energy, goddess energy, whatever you want to call that. Those 3 will be face down. Then we will get the lower 3 chakras. Ooh, Ace of Cups, Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, hanging out in a see-through nightie with a really big cocktail, the Ace of Cups there. For the lower 3 chakras, relationships in the physical world, the masculine energy, yang dynamic, looking at ourselves from the outside in sort of like a mirror, and or us looking from the inside out at people, places, and things, relationships in the physical world. These 3 will go face down as well. And then we will flip them over, past, present, and future. We'll look at those 3. And the new one we're adding to the series this time is a Whisper of Love Oracle. Angela Hartfield, love this deck. This has some romance cards in it. Not all of these readings are about romance. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they're dedicated to the higher selves of all involved in our True Love timeline. And we will end with a Matt Kahn healing mantra, because this is about healing, right? It's how we learn to heal, to grow, to learn, and to evolve here on planet Earth in these incarnations over and over and over again, so that we can make, catch this, the wisest, most loving, most empowering choices and decisions, right? There's the chakra alignment, just doing the best that we can. And every time we do that, we shift to a more truthful and loving and more empowered timeline, regardless of what anybody else is doing. So in a sense, with the quantum and all of that, every time you make a wise, loving, empowered decision or choice, you shift to a more true love timeline, and then you get a more truly loving version of the people that your relationships are about and with and all of that. But sometimes they disappear because they're not ready, and there ain't that version of them ready just yet. That makes sense? So here's the tea. The more we do this, right, in every moment to the best of our ability, we are anchoring true love, not just into our own lives and relationships, but into the Earth's electromagnetic field, for the true love that conquers all, the true love that heals all wounds, the true love that breaks all curses, ancestral, societal, and otherwise. Like, that's the gig. So our relationships have immense purpose, but we don't often see the purpose until later. Location, location, location. Good? I think that's enough explanation. I think you got the gist of it. So let's get down into the divination. The shift from explanation to divination happens in the still point, so let's go there. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. And I will do my best to help anybody navigate the path of true love in their true love timeline for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser relationships, and happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser ways, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world, because as one of us does it, all of us do it. It's just how unity works. So, enough of that. Let's do it. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ooh, the whole neighborhood got quiet. Goddesses, override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it. So let it be done. My beloved goddesses, please, 3 cards face down. Heart, third eye crown, internal dynamic for us, Libra Collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. Where have we been? Heart, third eye crown in the timeline. Where are we now? Point of power is always in the present moment, so this is the most important of the 3. Heart, third eye crown, where we are now in the true love timeline, and where we are headed if we just do our best, right? We're not going to cross every T and dot every I every single time. It's a journey. It's a path of true love. If we just do our best to make the wisest, most loving, most empowering choices and decisions in the timeless true love timeline, in this timeless true love timeline read. Like I said, we're going to get these 3 down. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My gods, override. A place for everything and everything in its place, but all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all, with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. My beloved gods, please, 3 cards face down, lower 3 chakras, outside looking at ourselves, inside us looking at people, places, and things, relationships in the physical world. Where have us, Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross-watchers been? Lower 3 chakra dynamic. Where have we been? Where are we now? Point of power, always in the present moment. Lower 3 chakras. And where are we headed if we just do our best to make the wisest, most loving, most empowering choices in our relationships, right? We just do our best. Where are we headed in this true love timeline read? Let's look at the past. Okay. All right, at least this is behind us. Five of Pentacles on the inner, the earthquake, a very, very fast change happened, but on the inside, right? Pentacles on the inside, for me, are about wisdom that we gained through experience in the physical world. Knowledge is not wisdom. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom, right? So it's something that's earned, and it's a wealth that cannot be taken from you, but can shake you up. Now, I know, traditionally, or at least on YouTube, Five of Cups being left out in the cold. Well, maybe, maybe not when it's internal like that, particularly with the Ace of Wands, Zeus in the Mythic Tarot, the Ace of Wands, issuing the call to the hero's journey, the quest of the Golden Fleece, Jason and the Argonauts and all of that. So, what do we know about aces? They're beginnings, right? Regardless of the suit. Ace of Wands can be, ooh, want that. Right? Haven't made a decision yet, but this is in the past. This could be something that came to you or from you, through you, out into the world. Certainly it can be a card of inspiration, but all the aces are seeds, and like any seed, metaphorical or literal, it's what you do with it, right? You could burn it, you could bury it and nurture it to grow, but this can also be a spark of passion. Now, passion need not always necessarily translate into sexual romantic dynamics. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and certainly it's the most phallic card in the tarot if you want to look at it that way. So definitely an earth energy on the inside, a little bit shook, but sometimes it's a good thing, you know, and that's feminine energy, element of earth on the inner, makes sense on the yin, and on the outer, that yang, that fire energy there of initiation, right, to start something. Interesting. Let's see, where are we now, because this is the most important. Ooh, a lot of air. On the inside, we have the Four of Blades. Now, I know it looks like the Two of Swords from the Rider-Waite Tarot, but there are two swords crossed underneath her on that very, very uncomfortable bench she's sitting on there, blindfolded, so she's not aware of it. Now, written on the card is the word deception. Now, for air signs like us, in this case, Venus for me, Venus in Libra, this can be a time of mental rest, of going within and saying, okay, where do I believe things that are not true, that might have very well appeared true, particularly coming from a place of being shook on the inside, a piece of wisdom, a real change, not a full-on transformation, but like from air to water to snow, snowing here in Saratoga Springs, or was, but then it could be reversed. A transformation, you can't go back, you can't unburn a cookie. I love that metaphor a lot. So certainly, you know, when the word deception comes up, a lot of times we deceive ourselves. The illusion of separation itself. How can we possibly be separate from anyone if we're all one? Right? Level of consciousness. The higher you go in levels of consciousness, the more, there's always a higher truth. All is one is pretty big, but then there's an experience of that cancels out all the words, right? And all the thoughts about it. And with the Two of Swords here, Orestes kind of dealing with an argument with his mother and his father there going on there from Euripides, Eumenides. Sounds like a Greek tale. That's a Fraser joke from way back when. Euripides, Eumenides, the kindly ones, but the Furies, the Erinyes that turn into the Eumenides, the kindly ones. So what do we know about the Two of Swords? People want to say it's a card of indecision, but decision is element of fire, right? Like, am I going to do this or am I not? This is usually more about analysis, trying to gather information, perhaps two sides of an argument. I will say, lower three chakras here, Ace of Wands, most likely solar plexus, right? Personal power, boundaries, right? Or a real gut hunch, something in that element of fire. But second chakra for me often speaks of, Two of Swords often indicates to me a second chakra vibe, a conversation or a back and forth in terms of communication. But is someone being deceiving, or has someone been deceived, or Are we all under certain illusions here? Regardless, the internal work really seems to be dominant here because you learned something. We learned something in the past that might have shook us up a bit, sure, but we have that wisdom carried through to this. A nice foundation of earth to support this element of air. And remember, it may not be straight up deception, like somebody literally intentionally lying, so much as it really can be that thing of, wow, I really thought that way. Okay, they're giving me an example. So someone says, they call you friend, lover, family member, whatever, say, I'll be there at 8 o'clock, right? 8:05, you're not freaking. 8:30, you're like, what the hell? Right? 9 o'clock, what the hell? And, by 10 p.m., you're like, oh my God, what's happened to them, right? And then you find out, they had a flat tire, their cell phone died, whatever. And then you go, oh, okay. But there's still some conversations to be had here. There's still more information. And let's say if we take the 4 of blades and add 2 to it, that's the 6 of blades, swords, element of air, which is a journey from choppy water to smooth through a mental process. Perfect for a Libra vibe. See where we're headed. Oh, and yet more air. Okay, 5 blades on the inner, the hurricane. Ooh, great fun. Whole lots of thoughts going on, and is a match to that 5 of blades. So there's going to be more changing thoughts coming. Now, when I get this card for myself personally, depending on the reading and the situation, it can be the toxicity of well-meaning people that we have picked up along the way, right? When people get afraid for us, that's their story, not necessarily ours. I mean, it's good to listen and give them space to say what they've got to say. It's a form of confession. Sometimes we say, oh, I'm just so worried about you, right? This could be gossip. This could just be belief systems swirling around. So definitely, and I when this comes up for a client, I ask them, where is the safest place to be in a hurricane? Right? And they get all sorts of literal about it, like they're in the basement or in a bathtub or something like that. Metaphorically speaking, the safest place to be in a hurricane is in the eye, the EYE, but also if you've ever 12-stepped, keeping it in the eye, right? To be the still point, while everything else swirls around at high velocity. And with the Page of Cups on the outer, ooh, we're going to break this down. Now, this is Narcissus from Greek mythology, right? It's where the word narcissist comes from, but at least he could see his reflection. Most narcissists can't. To me, the pages don't have zodiacal reference. It's more elemental. So that can be that cup of love like we saw at the bottom of the deck for this one with Aphrodite, the Ace of Cups. This can be a time of self-reflection, right? It's like, I gotta go in. Like, I need to reflect on this. I need to kind of let all these thoughts do their things. And I know this from Matt Kahn. We'll get to his last card down, his healing mantras, that he says, and he's absolutely correct in my experience, that when your mind can't stop thinking, it's because your heart's not open, probably because you're afraid to feel something. Now, air signs come now. We have to cope with that. I'm Pisces moon, though, so I don't get away with that for very, very long. But I will also say it can be a message of love, right? Considering we got an Ace of Wands kicking us off here in the past, and essentially the Ace of Cups, the Page, this can be a message going out, coming in, can be both, as a result of something perhaps resolved, something seen here. But I will say, if you find yourself going into this place where the mental looping keeps happening, right, usually hits me at night, right? But a lot of times that's just the nervous system unloading, right? To just breathe and open your heart, and it's okay, and you'll find that those thoughts, you're able to witness them. I also highly recommend the work of Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now in particular. It's a genius book. I love him. He's great. So, in past, present, future here, I gotta see this. 1, 2, 3 air cards out of 6. No major arcana on the table. And I like it. Otherwise, we've got fire, we've got earth, we've got air, and we've got water, but no major arcana spirit. So minor arcana, there are things that happen, right? Major arcana are places, symbolically speaking, that we go through in life. Like, oh, I'm going through a death card or a tower moment, whatever. They're like stages. These are the things, and the court cards are the people that are involved, though technically only one court card, but a page can be a thing as well as a person. So that's why I don't attach zodiacal stuff there too much. So, that on the table, let's get a Whisper of Love oracle here. The higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, because boy, they see things better than we do. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Higher selves override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What is the whisper of love? The piece of information, inspiration, insight needed by us Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross watchers to navigate the path of true love and the true love timeline for this timeless true love timeline reading. Do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else. Now, this is sort of almost like a get-out-of-jail-free card, right? Because a lot of times, particularly if you consider yourself to be vibrationally, emotionally, energetically empathic, we can be telepathing people's thoughts, right? Or at least the vibrations, and then our own nervous system decodes it. So there might be a deception here about maybe not who's at fault, but if one person is speaking, I'll just use this as an example, real spiritual truth, like, look, there's only one of us here, right? We're all learning from each other. Here's a big one. Couldn't happen any other way. Everything is totally scripted. It's like a video game, but we have free will to choose fear or love, right? Wise, loving, empowering choices and decisions. So it seems like the wisest, most loving, most empowering decision from the higher selves is just give your attention to them. It doesn't mean you have to like hemorrhage. It doesn't mean you have to like sacrifice. There are other cards that would have said that. But certainly there's a vibe here, right, of being compassionate, giving your attention to someone else. Sometimes just being an active listener brings out the truth in people. It's like the rite of confession, right? Throat chakra thing there. Just being still, being silent, being present, and really giving them. Now, I will say, if you've ever read Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield, there's a lot of that in there in the later chapters, the later insights. So I highly recommend that book for that. So doing something for someone else. But I don't necessarily see a hemorrhaging thing here. But with the amount of air on the table, just let them have their say. Let's get our last card down, the Matcon Healing Mantra, to bring it all together. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ascended Masters override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all. And with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. My beloved Ascended Masters of True Love, one card in clarity, please. The perfect and precise healing mantra to help us Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross watchers navigate the hero's journey on the path of true love, making the wisest, most loving, most empowering choices and decisions for this timeless true love timeline read. Receiving elation. I am born of infinite joy. And that's true of all of us. Again, Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now, as well as in other works of his. He says joy is the natural state of the soul. But if we're not experiencing that, that's okay. It's a hero's journey, right? And it ain't much of a hero's journey without demons, dragons, vampires, and villains along the way, right? But do you want to be a hero or do you want to be a villain? That's the free will. It's a difference between choosing love or choosing fear. So I'm going to read this one. There's only one bookie book read here. And this is a great one. I mean, so joy can come out of that, and that might very well come as a result of you really doing the self-reflection, drinking that cup of love for yourself, and sort of making this a little bit easier while you give your attention to someone else. I am born of infinite joy. Born in the game. When elation is received, joy becomes your natural state of being. By the way, we're not supposed to live there all the time. Okay, we'll get there eventually someday. In Elation, you are aligning with the ecstatic nature of the universe to live each moment with renewed passion and purpose. Now, that means that's the universe's natural state is of joy, and we are one with the universe. So again, unity consciousness, lovely concept, but it's the experience that we need, that then we don't need to think about it so much. Elation helps you enjoy your human journey as it is right now without projecting your fulfillment onto the anticipation of future pending outcomes, which is not living in the now, it's living in the future, right? Regretting the past, afraid or anticipating what may or may not happen in the future. This mantra is ideal for increasing the flow of creative inspiration, cardinal air, creative air, Libra, elevating the immune system, and it really does do that, and being more present. Power wheel. Okie dokie. If you are new, we do what's called a blessimation at the end of my readings, a combination of a blessing and a summation, and then we'll talk about cool stuff if you want to hang out for it. Otherwise, last time for this reading, please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheonic override. As I call upon our collective pantheons of the divine on behalf of the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, they will be blessed with all that we need to make the wisest, most loving, most empowering choices and decisions in the true love timeline, because we are coming from a place where things got shuffled, things got shook, the earthquake. They don't last long, but they can make a lot of change depending upon the intensity of the Richter scale. Perhaps as something came in, an arrow of something, a flaming ace of wands, a new quest, a new relationship, a new something, but feeling very solar plexus there. It was really our choice and our decision and our personal power of how we chose to deal with that, which brings us to where we are now. Maybe we're not seeing things so clearly. Maybe we've communicated with somebody who wasn't seeing things clearly, and for them it feels an awful lot like the truth, but there's always a higher truth there. So for us to take even the traditional meaning of Four of Swords, in this case Four of Blades, to meditate, to still, to look within does seem wise. So that when we get to where we are headed, make the wisest, most loving, most empowering decisions, that we can be at the eye of the storm, in the hurricane, to allow all of those thoughts go around as they integrate, as we offer ourselves and perhaps another doing something for someone else, a cup of love, a cup of kindness, a cup of understanding, as we do something for someone else, giving our attention to someone else so that we may receive elation, because we are born of infinite joy as the sunlight breaks through the clouds. And may we be blessed with all that we need to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to travel the path of true love in the golden true love timeline of this lifetime. For the true love that conquers all, the true love that heals all wounds, and the true love that breaks all curses, societal, ancestral, and otherwise. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So would it be. So it is. That's good. That's a good one. A lot of air, but, you know, air signs, what you're gonna do. I'm born of infinite joy. I'm just born that way, baby. So if you liked the reading, please hit the like button, the thumbs up, notification bell, all of that stuff. Helps other Libras and Crosswatchers find the reading. Want more of me here on YouTube? Subscribe. I'm not stopping. I love this too much. It's too much fun for me. And let's face it, it's a gateway drug to Patreon.com/drawing the circle if you're looking for a deeper dive. The daily check-ins alone are one of my favorite things to do. Takes me a while to get ready to get on camera in the morning, but I do it. Not every morning, but just the one this morning was really great. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s, all of them, Path of True Love and Romantic Soulmate Contract reads and Twin Flame reads, right? They get all of those, as well as they get the significant discount booking me with private sessions. And I've been doing relationship reads with people. I think I started reading tarot when I was 12. I'm 55 now. I know, I don't look at things. It's kept me young, tarot, right? So there are so many different spreads and ways of looking at things. And do remember that even if this is not a romantic read, as you shift, all your relationships shift, because we are the common denominators, right? We are the ones that make the decisions between love and fear and all of that stuff. So if you want to book me for one of them, their private sessions, spiritual counseling and or a reading, there's a video in the description box called Booking Private Sessions with Mal that explains everything you need to know about booking a private session with me, but perhaps you were afraid to ask. I know it can be a little intimidating. I've been doing this a long time. But it explains really everything, what I do, what I don't. I have very ethical boundaries about reading. You just learn them along the way. Talk about a 5 of Pentacles, right? What I charge, why I charge it in person, on video. I'm doing readings at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs, but you can contact them directly. That's outside of Drawing the Circle, per se. But when I do a video read with somebody, there are clients all over the place now, it's a Zoom recording. So we set it up, I send you a Zoom link, we record the entire session, and it's both of us conversing as the cards hit the table. Once the reading is over, I send you a link to download the session, private counseling, spiritual, whatever, reading. Then you tell me you downloaded it, and then I delete it, so you're the only one who has it, and you can share it as you like. I don't care. You do you. And most important thing that I say in that video, and it's the way I am, I have never turned anybody away because of lack of finances. Where there's a witch, there's a way. I'm a witch, so there's a way. We always work it out, and that's who I am in this lifetime. I'm just here to serve because I'm trying to anchor true love into planet Earth. Thank you very much. So there's less atrocities and pain and crazy going on the planet. So click the link, check it out. It's a fun video. My mom likes it, and I finally changed my prices after 25 years. Made it for the 25th anniversary of Drawing the Circle production. So yeah, check it out. It's about 10, maybe 11 minutes. But most importantly here, receiving elation is worth it. Sometimes I get high, so to speak, off of my own integrity, right? Like when I make that wise, loving, empowered decisions, even if it's hard, there's this boost that comes up, because what happens is we absorbed the ego a little bit more into the soul, and that eternal joy within us comes, not forever, but long enough to go, yeah, talk about an intuitive thing. So I love this reading for us. It's kind of simple in that it doesn't have a lot of it has no major arcana cards in it, but with such a predominance of air, it does make sense for us. So have at it. You need help, you know where I am, you know how to get in touch with me. But otherwise, I think receiving elation is worth the gig, so hang in there. We got this. I love you. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.